Hi, my name is Cartoonz, and today I'm going to be going over my macros for you guys, because you requested it. I figured the easiest way was to pretty much just go over every single macro and what they do, and then I'll have like a notepad file that you guys can click in the description. If you click that, then you can see all of them written out, and that'll make it much easier for you guys to be able to get to the macros if you can't actually see them on the screen or write them down in time, whatever. But I think the best way is just to go through the macros. So let's go ahead and start. I'm doing an updated macro video because my macros have changed a lot since my last macro video. I've updated a lot. I've created a lot of new macros, stuff like that. There is a lot of them that are the same though, so if you have watched previous macro videos, you will still learn something, and if you haven't, then you'll learn everything, so it's all good. This is my ice block macro. Okay, so what this does is it stops casting for one. And then it cancels the aura in the first line, and then does /cast ice block in the second line. So what this means is that this one right here, since this is before /cast ice block, this allows it to cancel the ice block faster. Because if you just ice block, then it's really kind of slow. If you ice block and then like spam the binding with your ice block, it takes like a second to get out of the ice block. With this button, it literally just, check it out. You just get out instantly. You don't have to wait. So, I am on EU servers though right now, so I apologize for the little bit of delay. Anyways, so let's move on. But yeah, that macro just allows you to get out of ice block pretty fast. That's why I use it. I usually don't sit in ice block for more than like a second, so unless I have to, but that's besides the point. Right here, I have a frost jaw macro. This is actually pretty common throughout my macros. I use modifiers because when I have a focus target, I'd like to be able to hit shift and then hit my binding, which is D. So if I hit D, then it'll frost jaw my target, and then if I hit shift D, it'll frost jaw my focus target. This allows me to kind of consolidate into one button on my screen as opposed to having two, for like one at the focus and then one at the target. I can just have one button, so it just works out as a modifier. What a modifier means is it modifies the binding to have like plus this other button on your keyboard. So it works out pretty well, and it helps you kind of bring everything together. I also have /cast Ring of Frost here, and okay, this is a pretty neat little trick. If you put this down here, right, over here on my bottom right, this is my frost jaw button. I don't have frost jaw, but it's on the binding. I have /cast Ring of Frost, so if I hit my frost jaw macro, I can still cast Ring of Frost. And I also have the Ring of Frost button right here that shows the cooldown of Ring of Frost right next to it, so I don't actually have to bring it down every time I change talents. I can just look there and it's still there. Even if I respec, like this button will just light up and this will just deluminate, so it's really not a big deal. But it keeps you from having to bring down your buttons every time you get something. It's really annoying how that works. So this is my offensive cooldowns button, and pretty much what this is you know, it allows you to hit Icy Veins and Lifeblood and your trinket at the same time. I actually fixed it. I messed up my button on accident, so I have to put /use 13 because /use 13 is your trinket. This one right here, that's the 13th slot in your items, so it'll like let you use that, Lifeblood, and Icy Veins at the same time to use all your offensive cooldowns at the same time instead of separately. You get bigger numbers that way. And I also have a modifier macro worked into my Icy Veins. I did this because I can hit Shift S as opposed to just S. Like S is all my offensive cooldowns, okay? Shift S is my symbiosis. So if I have symbiosis from a druid, I can cast Healing Touch by hitting Shift S, and it's all in one macro like my Frostjaw macro. So, you know, it works. My Deep Freeze is also a modifier macro. I went over that, so I won't have to go over that right now. Spell Steal. Spell Steal's important because it cancels Hand of Sacrifice. You don't want to spell steal a Hand of Sacrifice off a Pally and then still have it on yourself, because it does the same thing. You can't CC the Paladin while he has Sacrifice up, so if you get rid of Sacrifice, this automatically gets rid of the Sacrifice buff on you when you spell steal it, so it's just faster. Okay, so this is it's another cool trick. This is kind of a complicated macro, and I'm not going to be able to read off everything and explain everything about the macro. But I pretty much did /cast Temp Shield, /cast Flame Glow, even though that's nothing, and then /cast Ice Barrier. Pretty much what this is it's one button for all my talents. So whenever I change a talent, I don't have to bring down the button onto my bar again, which gets really annoying. Like if you're queuing up for arena, that gets really annoying. And then it's also right here. This script gets all of the information from that spell and puts it into the button. So you don't have to do like a tooltip or anything like that. It automatically gets all of those spells and then puts it down into your number 3. Like mine is at number 3. So if I change any kind of shield, it's already going to be there. And then as you can see down here, I have Ice Barrier here, but I also have Temp Shield here. And they're both illuminated because I have Temporal Shield, but this is acting as a Temporal Shield buff. But I put it as the Ice Barrier icon because if I have Ice Barrier, I want to be able to look down and see my Ice Barrier icon and then know that it's on cooldown. So if I use Temp Shield, right, they both go on cooldown. This is just a different icon. So just wanted to clarify that. A lot of people ask me about that. Like, how do you have Ice Barrier and Temp Shield at the same time? But no, I actually don't. It's just an illusion. And then over here, same thing except for my level 15 talents. It's slash cast Ice Flows, Blazing Speed, and Presence of Mind. That's down here on Alt 2. As you can see, I don't have Blazing Speed currently, so that's deluminated, but I put the Presence of Mind button. That's actually this macro right here. It's just the tooltip. If you don't know what a tooltip is, it's pretty much when you hover over something, it tells you, like, it's right there, like Conjured Mountain buttons. It tells you all the information in the spell. So this tells me the cooldown. It's right next to my Blazing Speed button. I don't have to bring it down every time I change a talent. It's really annoying to do that, so I decided to just fix that. It also just gets all the spell info, so it tells you your cooldowns, your tooltips, everything. You don't have to do anything. But as I said, this is in a little text file that I have linked in the description for you, so no worries. And then this also, it casts in one button. So every time you change your talent, if you change it to Ice Flows or Blazing Speed or Presence of Mind, it doesn't matter. You never have to bring it down to there again because it's always there. I don't usually use Ice Flows like at all, so I don't have that on my bar. So whatever. Here's my Temporal Shield tooltip. It's right there. That's the button. I don't need to have slash cast Temporal Shield because I don't have that button bound, so it's just there because whatever. Alright, so this is Polymorph 1, 2, and 3. What this does is if there is 3 people in an arena, you can just hit. I have Alt A, Alt S, and Alt D. So Alt A is to polymorph arena target 1, and then Alt S is to for arena target 2, and then 3, obviously for arena target 3. It just takes away the whole having to target process. You can just polymorph just by hitting the button. You don't have to do anything else. Some people like to do CS and deep for arena target 1, 2, 3. I don't, because I don't really need to. I'm just as fast, so it doesn't really matter. It's just on your own playstyle. Okay, so these 3 macros right here are pointless, as for now, because you used to have a macro to target arena target 1 and 2 and 3. You had to actually target them and to focus them. They're actually in the game UI now. So if I were to go into key bindings, then if I find it down here in targeting really fast, yeah, okay. See, slash target arena enemy 1, and then slash focused arena enemy 1. It's actually in your keybinding UI now. They didn't have this before, so I have the macros, and it kind of helps me since I have them shown as the tooltip, and they have the icon of deep freeze. If I look over here real fast, just to get a quick glance of when my deep freeze is coming up, then I can see that it's still on cooldown because it treats it as the deep freeze spell. And it also tells me the cooldown, and since it's the same icon, I can just kind of get a quick glance over in my right view, and then I can see that it's still on cooldown or it's ready to go, whatever. And then I have the same thing for Alter Time, but this is for Focus, which is also in the UI. You don't have to have these macros, they're just there. This is my Modifier Cs Macro. I've already gone over modifiers, so I probably don't have to do that again. This is kind of a different, it's a different macro. You don't really see this a whole lot for mages. You see it more for like healers and stuff like that, for like shaman or whatever. Frostbolt and Decurse. So pretty much what it does is if I'm hitting, say, I don't have anything bad to hit right now, but if I were to target something like an enemy and then hit 2, it would start casting Frostbolt. But if I target my water elemental here, which is friendly, I can hit 2, same button, and then it will decurse them. Slash cast Help, remove curse. Help is a friendly target. Harm is an enemy target, and that's Frostbolt. So if there's an enemy, I hit 2, they cast Frostbolt, but if it's a friendly target and I hit 2, then it is a decurse. So yeah, that's a pretty helpful macro. I use it all the time in Arena. As for this, this is cosmetic. I did this because I'll never have to look at the cooldown for Frostfire Bolt or Ice Lance. I also will never have to tell if there's mana, how much mana I need for those, because I always have mana. That's just how mages are. So I changed the tooltip. I changed the tooltip to CS, because CS being counterspell, because I want to be able to look down and see 3 buttons of one spell that's on cooldown and is a really important spell. And since I don't need to know the cooldown of Ice Lance or Frostfire Bolt, because there is none, I just changed it to CS. And then I put it right here. As you can see, like, Z is still Frostfire Bolt, R is still Ice Lance, but they're changed. They're changed to the CS icon. So I can tell the cooldown, I can just look down real quick, see 3 buttons instead of 1. It's just a bigger part of my screen, and it's just easier for me to see. So that's why I have those there. A lot of people ask me that question. And then I have the same thing for Orb. And like I changed my Spell Steal and my Polymorph icons over to my Frozen Orb, because again, I just like to be able to look down, and I don't need to know the cooldown of Polymorph or Spell Steal because there is none. I usually can just tell how much mana I have too for Spell Steal, so it's really not a big deal. So I just changed it over here. And then Polymorph, I use a modifier macro as well for Polymorph, so I can just consolidate it into 1 button instead of 2. Just like J is my Polymorph. It's a really weird bind, so don't follow my binds at all. But J is Polymorph my target, and then Shift J is Polymorph my focus. So yeah, I have big hands. That's whatever. And then Spell Steal, I've already gone over that. I don't know why I have 2 Spell Steal macros. Let's just delete that. And then I have, this is a fire macro. I don't even know why I have this bound on Frost. I really don't use it. But pretty much what it is it's /cast Presence of Mind and then Alter Time. So you can use your Presence of Mind once, then Alter Time, and then use it again. I mean, it's a good macro. I just don't use it a whole lot. So it's just my playstyle, I suppose. And then this is an Ice Ward macro. I really never use this. I just haven't used Ice Ward in a really long time. Ring of Frost is always better than that. But pretty much what it is if you hit Shift, like Ice Ward is D for me. So if you hit Shift D, then it's going to put Ice Ward on the target of your target. So if I'm targeting Water Elemental, and Water Elemental is targeting my friend over there, attacking my friend, I can hit Shift D while targeting Water Elemental, and then it will put the Ice Ward on my friend because Water Elemental is attacking my friend. Okay? So that's how that works. And then no modifier pretty much just means puts it on myself. So if I just, like, I'll just put it there real quick. So if I just hit D, right, I'm not, like, or I'll target like my Water Elemental. If I hit D, oh, I don't have Ice Ward. Crap. I'm gonna get it. Just to show you for the purpose of the video. Get it? Yeah, okay. So if I hit D, I'm targeting my Water Elemental. Without the macro, it would Ice Ward onto the Water Elemental, but since it's me, or since I have my macro, boom, it puts it on myself. See? It works. But yeah, that's all my macros, guys. So if you have any questions about macros, feel free to post in the comments. I hope that this did help your help you learn a little bit. I do have something in the description for you guys to check out the text file, so you can just copy paste all the macros and then use them yourself. But yeah, guys, that does sum it up for me today. I hope you enjoyed, and feel free to leave a like if you did. Post comments about anything you need to learn, and I'll see you guys next time. Cartoonz out.